How we doing, guys? Just getting set up. Won't be a second. A little bit behind. Not long finished work. So I'll be with you in a second. Hope you're all well. It's good to see you, Jen. I'm glad that you're back on the go again. Right, I can see you now. So what are we saying about what Dunk was saying about Luis Felix Diaz? You mean Dean Hyson, Jen? I'd like to think so, yeah. I'd like to think we were signing, but we can't overthink it too much, can we? Because you know what we're like. We always seem to monitor everybody, don't we? But never make the final move. So, me personally, I'd like to see us sign Kirkes and Dean Huyson. I think they're both fantastic young players. Huyson's 19, and you've got Kirkes who's 21. They're all worth they're both worth signing. Are Bournemouth going to want to sell two of their best players to Liverpool? I mean, there is rumours. I don't know how true it is, but Justin Kluivert's apparently said this will be Huyson's last season at Bournemouth. So only time will tell. Glad that you're feeling better, Jen. There's nothing worse than not feeling very well. My phone's going crazy. Yeah, so like I say, I've not long finished work. So trying to catch up on what's gone on, really. What have I missed? I fell asleep yesterday really early. I went to sleep about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Maybe a little bit later, maybe 5. I was on and off all night. Woke up for work at 5:30 this morning, so I missed the full England game. I know the scoreline, and I know that Reece James scored a good free kick and Harry Kane scored, but I haven't seen the highlights yet. I hope so, Jen. I mean, the Trent is nothing new, is it? We've known about the Trent thing for a long time, but I think it'll get it won't get. It was really good, Carl. I really enjoyed it. We got there quite early. I think got there about 11:15. Had a wander around, took some pictures of the mosaics, had a look round all the stalls, had a look in the store, probably be able to see the scarf at the top there. It's quite a nice scarf actually. But yeah, it was really good. Crouch was absolutely fantastic. Took me about years, beautiful header, and then he headed it down himself and knocked it over. Did you go to the Legends game as well, Jen? Yeah, someone said it was boring. Did you watch the Spain game? That was quite good, apparently. 15 goals, including the penalties, like Dunk said. So, yeah, what a game. I, I, if I could sign two players this summer, it'd be Kirkes and Huyson. Obviously, keep apart from Trent. I mean, go into so you'd have to sign maybe a Frimpong or something like that. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I'm hoping to come up for the parade, mate. It depends what day it's on. If it's on a Monday, I might not be able to make it because Monday is my busiest day at work. Yeah, it was really good, Jen. Peter Crouch is brilliant. I would bring him back, mate. Tell him come out of retirement and give him the last 10 minutes. It'd be absolutely amazing. But yeah, when he headed it down and dinked it across to the other side of the goal, what a finish! Um, but I think he could still do a job. I mean, he looked all right, didn't he? You know, he's not fat on him. I know he's not obviously as fit as he was back in the day, but I'm sure they could get him fit enough for 10, 15 minutes. You know, if we're struggling, get him on and play a bit of the long ball or play for corners. You know, he'd make such a massive difference. Well, let's hope so, Jen, because you just never know with this team. I mean, we weren't good against Newcastle. We were very poor against PSG in the first game. Second game, we improved, didn't we? But it's not going to be easy against Everton next weekend, or is it this weekend? It's the fourth, isn't it? Third or fourth. So it's not going to be easy. Hi, Alan. How's it going, mate? You all right? Did you get over to the Legends game? Darrell was supposed to be joining me, but he's not been able to make it today, so that's a shame. So family problems. But yeah, maybe we'll catch up again another day. We're talking to Martin today as well. He's been struggling a little bit, bless him. Maybe he might pop on and see us for half an hour. Yeah, definitely, Jem. We do need to pull ourselves together. We've seemed to have taken it for granted. It's only 12 points. We've still got some big games to play, haven't we? Yeah, it was good, Al. I really enjoyed it. I went down with the wife and the middle daughter. Really enjoyed it. Peter Crouch was fantastic. What was I saying then, Jen? Yeah, we've got some tough games coming up. We've got Arsenal. We've still got Chelsea, Spurs. Sorry, we've got to pull our socks up. We've got to beat Everton. That's a must. Shall we have a quick look and see what games we've got left? I know we've got Palace last game of the season because Darrell was on about possibly trying to get down for that game. I don't think I'll be able to do that on the parade. So the fixtures we've got left, and we play Everton on the 3rd of April, don't we? 2nd of April. So that's a Wednesday. Then we've got Fulham on the Sunday, West Ham on the 13th. So if we can win all three of them games, which is more than doable, we've only got to win one more. Is it one more game and a draw? Or is it 5 wins and a draw? So the next 4 games, we've got Everton on the 2nd, Fulham on the 6th, West Ham on the 13th, Leicester on the 20th, and then we play Spurs on the 27th. So if we can win them 5 games, we've only got Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Brighton away, and Palace at home. So we only need a draw if we win the next 5 games. But who have Arsenal got left to play? I think Arsenal have got harder running than we have, to be fair. So Arsenal have got left. They've got Fulham on the 1st of April. Then they've got Everton away on the 5th. And then they've got the games against Real Madrid. So that gives them more games. And then after the Real Madrid game, they've got Brentford at home, then Ipswich away, Palace away, Bournemouth away, then us, then Newcastle, then Southampton. So in theory, when you look at them fixtures, they've actually got an easier running than we have. But saying that, Everton could get a draw out of them. Fulham could beat them. Fulham are a bogey team for a lot of people, aren't they? I think Real Madrid games will take a lot out of them. And then they've got Ipswich. Ipswich are, they're struggling, aren't they? So they're going. Bournemouth are a good side, so they could get a point off them. Newcastle could beat them. Then they've obviously got us. So by the time we play Arsenal, there's 5 games in between that. We win them 5 games. We only need a draw out of the last 4 games. And like I said, they've got Real Madrid as well. So, yeah, I agree, Jen. I think they'll draw with Bournemouth. I think we'll beat them. So, I would be gobsmacked if we don't win the title now, if I'm totally honest. Let's just catch up with the chat a sec, see what's happening with Val. No, your knees are playing up there, Al. Well, it'd be all that dancing you do. Have you been dancing since the Birmingham do? Yeah, we were just saying that, Al. The only problem I've got with that is, would Bournemouth sell Kirkes and Huyson to us? I'm apparently linked to that Semenyo, saying, Samito, or whatever he's called, that winger on about offering Ben Doak as part of a swap deal. So we seem to be targeting a lot of Bournemouth and Wolves players, don't we? Old age is just a number, Al. It's just a number. Especially when you've got the energy that you've got. Cycling. I couldn't do cycling now, not even, and I'm like about 30 years younger than you, 28 years younger than you. Shailene, how's it going? You alright, mate? So what's your thoughts on this Hyson thing? Do you think we'll get him, or do you think he'll go to Real Madrid? You certainly are a fighter, Al. There's no doubt about that, mate. Oh, You really think so, Sherlin? I've seen quite a lot of rumours about different players, but it's players that I don't think are good enough for Liverpool. You've got like Mark Guai, whatever you call him. Apparently, been in talks with him. You know, we're looking at Jared Bramthwaite. You know, some of these players I don't think are good enough. You know, if you look at Bramthwaite, for example, if you were to buy Bramthwaite, you're talking 70 million. If you're to buy Mark Guai from Palace, that's 70 million as well. Yeah, maybe Sherlin. Yeah, it's a good shout, that, to be honest. You know, there's two players there you're talking 70 million for. Why don't you just go and buy Hyson? He's younger. He's an absolute wonderful player. If we don't sign him, I'm sure Arsenal or somebody will buy him. You know, Newcastle. I would rather, I'd rather sign him than sign somebody, you know, that's going to cost us a fortune. I mean, who's to say that Mark Guai and Jared Bramthwaite are any better than Dean Huyson? You know. So what are people saying in chat forums, Shaylin? Yeah, that is true, Alan. It does depend. I mean, even if we did get Dean House, it doesn't mean that he's going to stay for his full career. You know, he might want to stay 4 or 5 years and end up going to Madrid. We all know that he wants to go to Spain, and that's he is Spanish to a certain extent. Isn't he? I know he moved to Spain when he was 5, but you know he's already said he'd like to move to Spain. So even if we got him for 5 or 6 years, you know, till he's 25, 26, you know, if we can get 3 or 4 titles in that time, then it's a 50 million well spent. We can sell him for 100 million to Real Madrid. Isak won't happen. I'll behave yourself. No chance. Yeah, that's the only issue I've got, Shailen. There's a lot of people that are just throwing names about for the fun of it. That's the thing about, I think Slot said it in his press conferences before. He said that we're linked with everybody constantly, you know. In my opinion, if it's only Trent that goes and Van Dijk and Salah stay, we don't need massive changes. You know, for me, I would only say bring 3 players in, possibly 4. You know, I'd like to see us get Kirkes, Hodgson, Frimpong, and a defensive midfielder. It doesn't even have to be a top-notch one, just somebody that they can nurture. You know, I did a video about some lad who plays for Osasuna the other day. He looks a real good player. You know, he's 22, 23. I'm sure he'll be a good backup for Gravenberg. Do you really think all 3 are going to go, Shaylin? I don't think all 3 will go. I stick with what I've said all along. I think Van Dijk and Salah stay. Trent's already gone from what Dunk was saying last night. I don't know if you've seen the video, but apparently Jose Felix Diaz, who's a top journalist, don't rate him alongside Paul Joyce and David Ornstein. He's like the Spanish version of them, and he's more or less said that internally at Real Madrid, that this scene is more or less done. That is very true, Shirley. Would be absolutely gobsmacked if we signed Isak. There's no way we're going to pay 150 million unless we sell Nunes for 70, say, which is not going to happen, and Diaz for 70 and put the 30 to it ourselves. I don't know, to be honest. I think there's more chance of us getting Sesko. I like Sesko. I think he's a really good player. Wow, that's a bold statement, Shaylin. But you could be right, mate. Who can predict what Richard Hughes and Edwards are thinking? You know, here's one for us. If Van Dijk left and we signed Huyson, would you be happy? Would you see that as a good replacement? No, I agree, Shailene. I can't see it. Um, it's like Daryl said, though. I don't know if he's watched much of Daryl's videos, but he made a good point in one of his videos. We need to scrap this buy to sell um, thing that's going on with FSG. I mean, we need to look to the future, don't we? Kamal, how's it going, mate? Um, you know, our academy's looking thin at the moment, isn't it? You know, yeah, we've got Rio Ungamoe, we've got Kone Doherty, but there's not a great deal that's coming through, really, is there? Like defensive wise, I know we've got like Trainee Oni, and there is a lot of kids coming through, but they're all attacking. Now, I agree with Jen. We do need to spend. End of the day, I know we don't want to spend, but you've got to. No, I agree, Kamal. I don't see it. It's like I've just said, Kamal. I honestly believe that Van Dijk and Salah stay. It's not about money at the moment. I think it's more um, the years that they're offered. I think they want 3 years, um, and I think Liverpool only want on a offer from two. So there could be a compromise there. You could say give them 2 years with an option of a third. You know, they might accept that. I don't know. No, I agree, Kamal. He shouldn't receive any abuse. I totally agree with you. At the end of the 20 years of his life to the club, you can't begrudge if he wants to go, go. But I think my only issue is what a lot of people have said is he should be coming out and telling us the truth because everybody knows that he's going to Real Madrid. Everybody, just come on and tell us the truth. You'll get more respect for it, in my opinion. I don't know, Al, to be honest with you, how much more games he's going to play. How serious is his injury? We don't know. Um, Me personally, if Bradley's back before him, I wouldn't even play him because for me, since his head's been massively turned since the United game, I don't think he's been the same. He was very poor against United, wasn't he? Yeah, that's the only issue, isn't it, Jen? We should be bringing in youngsters and um, four main positions that you need. I mean, like we all say, we need a left back, we need a right back, we need a number six, we need a striker, and we also need a centre back. So there's five positions that need strengthening, and then get some young players on top of that. Yeah, that's very true, Kamal. What a talent he looks, doesn't he? Um, I hope we see a bit more. If we can win the next 5 games um, before we get to the Chelsea game, um, I hope we see some, because then after that, we've only got 1 point, haven't we, from the last 4 games? So I'd like to see more of that kid. The only issue I have with him, he seems a lot of flair, doesn't he? Doesn't seem to know when to pass. He's too keen on impressing and showing his skills, and there's got to be some cut-off point for me. I love watching the skills, the step overs, and I love all that sort of stuff. But he's got to know when to pass and not run down into to a dead end. Well, that's very true, Jen. He could flop. He might not even get a game. There's no guarantee he's going to get a game above Carvajal. I mean, Carvajal's a hero there, isn't he? So Trent Alexander-Arnold, for me, might not even get a game. He could end up regretting leaving and end up coming back in a couple of years. You know, only time will tell. But I'm sure Dunk will cover that on his Spanish dailies. Yeah, well, there's a bit of turmoil, isn't there, with Everton? Al, apparently, David Moyes wants to bring in, is it David Weir, to be sporting director rather than the lad that the owners want to bring in. So we'll have to wait and see. But it does look a nice stadium. Fair. Have they sorted the leaks out? All right, no problem. Well, thanks for popping in, mate. Anyway, I'll uh, I'll try and get up once I get my holidays through. I'll try and get up and see you in April. Well, I get me holidays in April, but I'll try and get up and see you one of the weekends. Be good to catch up again and take me to these dancing clubs. Take it easy, Al. I'll speak to you soon. Yeah, we'll definitely pencil something in, Al, if you haven't already gone. Are you off as well, Kamal? Thanks for popping in, mate. Take it easy. I think he's gone out, Jem. He's out quite a lot during the day. Just going to see what X is saying. See if there's anything credible on there. So there's a bit about Endo, basically saying that he'll take a pay cut to go back to Germany. Um, what's this? Football 365, so it'll probably be a lot of rubbish. All right, Hussein, how's it going, mate? Um, Real Madrid president Florentino Perez has given the okay for Bayer Leverkusen defender Jeremy Frimpong to head to Anfield, according to reports. How's that got to do with him? I mean, what's it got to do with the Real Madrid president if we get Jeremy Frimpong or not? Doesn't it come down to Leverkusen if we get him? What's it got to do with Real Madrid president? The Reds have been having a great time. Arne Slot's side 12 points ahead of second placed Arsenal as they head into the final 9 matches of the season. I think I'm going to try and get down for the parade, Jen. Definitely. Darrell was on about going to the Palace game as well, but I don't think he could afford to do both. Depending what day the parade's on. If the parade's a Sunday, I could do it. If it's a Monday, I'd have to book it off because I wouldn't get it otherwise. Because Monday is my busiest day at work. Well, I think it's Jeremy Frimpong. To be honest, I think he's the perfect replacement for Trent. It's whether he fits into Slot's style of play, doesn't it? That's the only thing. But we'll just have to see. There's plenty of options out there. I mean, Martin did a video today, didn't he, about an 18-year-old kid that plays for Feyenoord. Is it? I can't remember his name now. Let me just have a quick look on Martin's videos. Let's have a look. Red Raw. There he is there. He's called Gavario Reed. He's an 18-year-old right back who plays for Feyenoord. I don't actually know a great deal about him, to be honest, but there's plenty of options out there, isn't there, to replace Trent. I mean, you won't find an exact replacement for Trent, but for me, I would say Frimpong's the one to replace him, to be honest with you, Hussein. I don't know, Jen, about Bajcetic. I think he's a good player. He's been compared to Busquets, hasn't he? I don't personally like that. I don't think it's fair on young players to get compared to an absolute legend like Busquets. I mean, I remember when was it Latalac or Bruno Gamero, or whatever you call him? Not Gamero, Bruno Giroud, and he was compared to Zinedine Zidane. I just don't think it's fair to put that pressure on him. But I do like Bajcetic. Maybe he might stay and cover for Grafenberg next season. Jen, you could be right. I would pay 35 million for him all day long, Hussein. Newcastle, I can't see him selling Livramento, to be honest. I think the left back will be Joel Hato or Kirkes for me. I think they might even bring them both in because Joel Hato would be a good cover for Van Dijk if they don't get Dean Huijsen. And he can also cover at left back as well if need be. This kid I was just mentioning about from Feyenoord, he can play right back and left back. So Nat Phillips, I think, is going to go, Jen, to be honest. I think he'll get released in the summer, same as Reece Williams. I think he'll go as well. I think they'll either get released or sold. Can't see any of them two having any part of the future under Slot. But we were linked with Livramento, weren't we, before he went to Newcastle? Really good player, played really well against us. Was brilliant against Mohamed Salah, wasn't he? Not many left backs in the world that can keep Salah quiet. Gomez, it's another one. It's injuries for me. Spare me a second, guys. Sorry, I had a phone call then. Hi, Jenny. Have you finished your college course? But yeah, sorry, Jen. Yeah, I think he goes. I think his injuries go against him. I think if somebody comes in with a decent offer, I think he goes. So that's what I mean. So if off with the team, I think Kelleher goes with Mamadashvili coming in. I think he'll go to Bournemouth, possibly as part of maybe even the Huijsen or Kirkes deal. I think Gomez goes if we get a good offer. I think Konate is on the edge. I'm not sure about Konate. I think Trent's gone. I think Simicast goes. I think Endo goes. Nunes, Diaz. I think there's going to be a lot of changes at the club this summer. I just hope they get it right. This is a massive summer for Hughes and Edwards. Nice one, baby. Doing well. Super proud of you. But yeah, I think there's a lot of changes coming. I'd like to see, like I say, I'd like to see Kirkes, Huyson, and Frimpong for the defence, and Hato, depending how many go. And then midfield, I'd like to see maybe Stiller come in as backup for Gravenberg. I'd like to see Sesko come in to replace Nunes, and I'd possibly like to see. There's a lot of good left wingers, isn't there? Maybe the lad from Feyenoord, is it Bakayoko or something like that? Something like that. I think he's a good player. Oh, you're back. I thought you were gone. You were going, Kamal. Yeah, it's good news. I mean, if Paul Joyce is saying that, Kamal, you can more or less take it to the bank because he's got a direct line to Michael Edwards, hasn't he? So I think they'll sign. I think they've just got to get it right. I think they've just got to get the contract years right. I don't think money's the issue. Well, I'm 95% sure it's not money related at all. I think it's more about years. So yeah, who would you guys like to see us bring in? If we're saying there's only Virgil van Dijk and Robertson, for example, that stay, who would you like to bring in for your defence next season? Yeah, definitely, Jem. I could see that. Um, Maybe giving him a 2 year and a third year extent option. That could work. Yeah. Um, I can't see Isaac, Jen. I just can't see it. I really can't. Who don't you expect to see in the match day squads going forward, Kamal? You mean Trent? Me personally, if Bradley's fit before Trent, I'd sooner have Bradley in, to be honest. Yeah, that's a good shout, Kamal. They're all really good players. But the problem is, would Bradley want to be a backup to Frimpong? Because I can't see Frimpong coming in to be a backup to Bradley. He would have to be in the team. Yeah, I thought you meant Trent there. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Jen. I would agree with you um, with Bradley, but Frimpong will not come to Liverpool to sit on the bench. Um, he's, for me, I would personally have Frimpong in above Bradley. I think he gives a little bit more defensive wise, maybe. I'm not too sure, but either way, it'd be a good battle to have. Where's Cal gone? Cal's disappeared, and Shaylin. They were here a minute ago. They've disappeared now. Have I missed them going? I've missed a few here from Shaylin. He makes a lot of good points, Shaylin. I've got a lot of time for Shaylin. He's a really nice fella. I had the pleasure of meeting him in Birmingham. Really nice lad. So he says here, there's no upside. It's like buying a lovely motor. It will only depreciate. What? I can't even read that. Basically, it'll only go down. It's like when you buy a car. Once you leave the showroom, the prices automatically go down. So I can see where Shaylin's coming from there. Yes, that's a good shout, that Kamal. I really like Nico Williams. I think he's a real talent. Um, I'd like to see him actually come in. If Diaz goes to Barca, I'd like to see Williams come in and battle it out with Gakpo for that left wing. Problem is, if you bring Nico Williams in, who do you put? It's a lovely headache to have, isn't it? Because Gakpo's not going to want to sit on the bench. He's had a decent season, hasn't he? You know, I know injuries have hindered him a while, you know, but I like him. I like Gakpo a lot. I think he's a really good player. But again, I like Nico Williams. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Nico Williams from Atletico Madrid. Yeah, I know. Yeah, our player. You mean it's got a Forest? Yeah, I know what you mean. He is a really good player, actually. But yeah, yeah. But like I say, I don't. You can't guarantee Kamal that he's going to. He's even going to get a game. You know, if Carvalho is fit, does he get a game? You know, do they have to move him into a different position? I don't know how it'd work, to be honest. Yeah, I agree, Jen. They do have to get it right. This is a massive, massive summer. If they don't give Trent and Salah and Verge new contracts and they all go for free, they're in for a massive backlash, in my opinion. They've got to get it. For me, the minimum, they've got to give Salah and Van Dijk contracts. And then they're going to have to bring in at least five good players, not just fringe players, good players to challenge the 11. Yeah, yeah, definitely Kamala. He's definitely the heir to Carvajal. There's no doubt about it. And when you get the injuries that he had or has, It's you never come back the same, do you? So yeah, it's a shame because I really like Carvalho. I think he over the years he's a uh, European winner, a World Cup winner. He's a top professional. You know, and I think if he gets any type of form back, like Virgil van Dijk did, I think Trent's going to struggle. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye on him. I'll be watching the El Clasico and stuff like that next season. See how he gets on. Because Barcelona, if they bring in, then he's going to have to deal with Luis Diaz, isn't he? Trent versus Diaz possibly. That could be an interesting duel on the right hand side. If Diaz goes, what sort of price would you take for him? Would you take 50, 60, 70 million? Um, if so, then you could easily go for Atletico Bilbao's left winger, couldn't you? Williams. I think he's got a 55 million buyout clause. I know that Diaz is only getting, what is it, 55 grand a week or something like that, I believe. But their Williams, Nico Williams, he's going to want at least 200, isn't he? So that's the only issue, isn't it? It's whether the board will sanction them sort of wages. I mean, we get, 380 million a year at the minute. That's even with Thiago and Matip and all the players that have left. It's a pretty high yearly wage bill, isn't it? I mean, he might surprise us, Jem. We're all saying that he's in for a tough time in Madrid. He might be brilliant. We know he's got the ability. He can pass. He's got a good shot on him. He does passes that people don't even think about. So we'll have to wait and see, Jen, to be honest. There's definitely a top player in there, Kamal. There's no doubt about it. I really like Diaz. The problem is he doesn't get enough goals, does he? We need our wingers to get goals, especially with Salah. I mean, if Salah goes, you're going to take possibly two players to replace him. You're going to have to get a striker and a right winger because he's, a once in a generation um, player, isn't he? You can't replace him with a right winger. I don't think there's a right winger in the world that you could replace him with at the moment. I mean, he does everything, doesn't he, for the club? I just don't understand why he's not already been given a contract. If he wants 3 years, give him 3 years. I don't understand what the wait is. Same as Verge. So you lose them two and Trent, you're ripping a massive hole in the squad, in the starting 11, which can't be replaced for me. I think as well, Kamal, with Diaz, I think Slot's thinking the same way as you are. I think that's why you see when Gakpo's fit, Diaz doesn't play on that left wing. Um, so I think Diaz will go. I go. I'm not sure about Jota. I don't know if Jota goes, to be honest. Um, I think if somebody offers 45 million for Jota, I think he goes. You know, there could potentially be 8 or 9 players that go in the summer. And maybe 6 or 7 come in. I don't know, to be honest. But either way, I can't see FSG putting massive amounts of money into the club. Well, that's exactly right, Kamal. You can have all the tricks in the world, but the tricks don't get you points, and they don't get you goals, do they? How's it going, Daryl? Glad you joined me, mate. How's your little one? Don't worry about it, mate. At the end of the day, family comes first. Um, It's not something I've known about it for hours. It's not as if you dropped out or saying all stream that you were going to join me. But at the end of the day, family comes first, and um, that's the end of it. So we've been going for what, just under an hour now. We've had a few people drop in and out. We've had Al drop in, Shailene dropped in, um, Carl dropped in. There's been a few people drop in and out. The Saints dropped in, so it's been quite a decent stream. I've really enjoyed it actually. I hope he gets to go, mate. Has his temperature gone down and stuff now? I don't know if it'll work, Daryl. You can try, mate. You can try and join off that link. I haven't changed it. See you, Jen. Thanks for coming, love. You always never let me down. Thanks for coming. You look after yourself. Jota Kamal, I agree with you. He's a fantastic player. He's probably, besides Salah, the best finisher at the club. Slot does rate him, but his injuries for me, he's always injured, isn't he? That's why I did that video about Harry Kane, Kamal. I know he's 31, but he's an out and out goal scorer. He's a machine, isn't he? You know, um, that's the thing, isn't it? And he's 31. And would the club pay 40 to 50 million for a 31-year-old? I can't see it, but I can imagine they would have already won the league if we had Harry Kane. I think he wouldn't have missed the chances that Nunes and Jota have missed. Uh, Let me just see if I can. Yeah, I didn't think it'd work, Daryl, because I'm not doing it through YouTube. I'm doing it through. Well, I am doing it through YouTube, but it's through OBS. Um, no, I mean I could try and invite you again, see if it works. But I mean, if you've only got 10 minutes by the time you get set up, it'll be time to come off, won't it? So no, I like Kane Kamal. I think he's a natural goal scorer. I think that's what we're missing. Yeah, me personally, I'd use him like an Ian Rush. I'd just tell him to stay in the box, in and around the box. Don't drag, don't come back. Like City do with Haaland. That's probably the best way to do it. No, I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to, Daryl, to be honest. The only way we could do it is by ending the stream and starting it again, but I'm not sure if it'd work. Don't worry, mate. We'll sort something out. Hopefully, I'll finish getting early tomorrow and might be able to get something done maybe mid afternoon or something. We'll try and sort something out. Thanks for coming, Kamal, and joining. I've really enjoyed the chat. Take it easy. Yeah, it is Darryl 67 million, but there was one of the articles was saying that they'd probably take 50 for him, 50 million euros, which is around about what, 42 to 44 million pound. It looks like it's starting to die off. A lot of people have gone now, so once you go, Darryl, I think I'll call it a day. Really enjoyed it actually. You know, there's been some good comments, some interesting questions, good debate. 41.7, yeah. I thought it was around about the 40 mark. So is your little one back at home with you now then, or is he still at the hospital, or what's happening? Uh, so what, you've come home, had something to eat and then going back? Oh, what a shame. It's not worse than a chest infection, especially when you're coughing up phlegm, and it's not nice, is it? But yeah, what I'll do is I'll end the stream now because everyone else has gone, and then I'll send you some messages and that once I've got sorted and that. About 10 minutes or something, mate. All right. So, if anybody's lurking in the background, thanks for joining in, and I'll speak to you all real soon. Take it easy, guys.